in
Well,
2025.
Yeah, it's our first episode of the new year.
Yes, which means this has to be the best, or the top 10 from 2029.
Is it 29?
24.
We're jumping back to the future?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway,
you
yeah.
betcha.
Our top 10, each of us has a top 10 list.
I don't know his list. He doesn't know my list.
No,
so
we have not told each other.
This could be tragic.
A grand possibility that there will be some similar films on our list.
I think so.
You know.
So I want to say right now, if I say, hey, my number 10 is blah, blah, blah. If your number 10 is blah, 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 don't tell me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nope.
So let's
Zip.
let's like
Zipperooski.
like if our number 5s are the same, I don't want to know it until you tell me.
Ooh, okay.
That it is.
Okay.
Or
we
vice
can do
versa.
That.
You know?
All right. I like it.
Here we go.
All right.
Here we go. Hold on to your butts.
That's right.
Samuel Jackson.
Hold on to your butts. Do you want to start?
Sure. I will start.
Do it.
Okay.
We're kicking it off.
My number 10 favorite horror movie of 2024 is In a Violent Nature.
Oh, excellent choice.
Yes.
Excellent
it would have been higher on this list if it hadn't been for that
fucking ending.
Fucking ending. Yes. That 45 minutes of nothing. What's it even? I don't think it was 45 minutes, but it felt like it.
God.
Oh my God. And I saw somebody else do their top 10 list, and it would have been higher if it hadn't been for the fucking ending. And I'm like,
man,
I get it, bro.
How is a movie so good up until a single point, and then it's just...
There's been a lot of movies that fell apart at the midpoint.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
but like, it's not even. But like
it's further on than the midpoint, but it feels like the midpoint.
It's not that it's bad. It's just a poor decision. Like, they needed it to cut it down to like a couple of minutes of that.
Well,
or literally anything, but the way they chose to end it.
Yeah, I think they shot the film, and then they're like, oh crap. Once it's edited, we only have 60 minutes. So we can't get the actors. So we'll just, we got, Mm-hmm.
I would have just had somebody throw on the damn costume and went and randomly killed people, I think.
Yeah, I would. I'd have them go out on the highway and just walk around, and then like a semi comes by and stops. And
yeah.
And
that's what I would have done.
And then he could get in the semi and drive it away.
Yeah.
And then it turns into Duel.
Oh, even better.
That would have been amazing. All right. What's your number 10?
Okay. My number 10, I argued with myself quite a bit on this final spot because there's many movies that deserve to be on the list this year because it was such a good year.
It was an excellent year.
And I almost didn't even put it on here because I'm also mad at this movie for its ending. But I'm such a huge fan of the franchise.
Oh.
And it was such a pleasure to see a return to many of those elements.
Yeah, I agree. I know what movie you're talking about.
Number 10 for me is Alien Romulus. But it is in the 10th spot because that fucking ending. I know it's creative choices, and it is a flawed film, and I will argue the fact that there are other movies that deserve to be in its spot instead that I enjoyed just as much. If maybe not more, but when it came down to the wire, I just love Xenomorphs. I love the Alien franchise so much that it was such a pleasure to see it return in good fashion for most part.
And to watch it in the theater.
Yes.
I mean, that was great. That was great because, I saw the original Alien in 79 in the theater. It scared the shit out of me. It did. So.
Things added that were nice and new.
Yeah.
There were other choices I didn't agree with 100%, but yeah. And some of the fan service moments didn't hit so right.
Yeah, so don't jack me off.
Yeah,
I just don't. Just don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in the theater getting jacked off.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. So, but yeah, top 10. Number 10 spot goes to Alien Romulus.
Okay.
Basically because of Xenomorphs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 9.
So my number 9 is it, and I like you. I fought with putting this film on my list at number 9 because there's so many other great movies above it. But I'm like, just for the sheer creativity of this film, it is in my number 9 spot, and that's Late Night with the Devil.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that because I almost put that instead of Alien Romulus.
Oh wow.
That was the last one that I enjoyed that so much, and realistically, it probably deserves to be in Alien Romulus' spot. But I'm glad at least you put it on yours.
I felt like it had to be there because it's disturbing.
Yes,
It's probably one of the better. I'm not saying the best. I'm saying better found footage films because exists. Nothing's going to take that away from my top spot.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So like if my top 10, list of found footage movies or Bigfoot movies, I mean, exist would be at the top of both of them. But yeah, Late Night with the Devil it's still going to, if it was top 10, found footage films, it would be a little higher.
Higher. Yeah,
for sure.
It's an excellent movie. Unique, fresh. I mean, it was just it was so good. So good.
I loved the look of it. I love the feel. It felt like Late Night with the Devil. Right, number 9. What's your number 9?
Number 9. We already talked about it.
Number 9.
In a Violent Nature.
Ooh.
Both of the movies in my 9th and 10th spot are there because I'm also punishing them for their endings.
Yes.
As In a Violent Nature was so fun and so neat and exciting, and then that
so
ending,
firefighter.
But man, it's just the ending. I can kind of forget it's there.
Yes.
I can just forget it. Alien Romulus ending, I can't forget it.
Right.
In a Violent Nature, I can forget the ending's there and just stop the movie and act like it's not there.
I get it.
There's so many cool. I mean, arguably best kill of the year.
Oh my God! Yes,
is in a Violent Nature.
Yes,
I mean, in our it will go up to bat for many other years too. I mean, it's just fantastic. Sure. There were so many cool ideas.
Ooh, yeah,
I can't wait to see.
We should do a top 10 list of best kills.
We should.
Well, this would be number 1. So yeah,
but it deserved to be on the list. It was. I love slashers. I love anything kind of fresh that can be brought to the franchise, and In a Violent Nature was definitely that for me. Unique ideas, cool kills. It's kind of like you're playing a video game from the killer's perspective.
Yes. Oh, it's Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For slashers. Grand Theft Slasher. Yeah.
Okay, so that brings us to number 8.
Number 8.
Okay. So I just want to start off by saying I apologize to a lot of people out there for putting this so low on the list, but and I do love this movie. Okay, I'm just not into clowns. Terrifier 3.
Oh,
this is probably the best clown movie ever, and then Chapter 1 and 2 would be right, below it. So if this was a clown list. It would be number 1. But this, clown, okay. I love art. And David Howard Thornton, great guy.
Absolutely.
But it's not scary. It's gory.
Oh.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. It's really not that gory. It's not that gross. Mm-mm. It's not that brutal.
Mm-mm.
Or is it? Oh, well, you just have to watch it and find out. I've actually gotten in trouble for recommending the film to people who may have vomited while watching it. Yeah, I felt so bad.
It's funny. I'm not happy that happened to your friend, but I'm also extremely happy because you heard about all the stories about people actually doing this in the theaters.
There was nobody in the theater that ran out like puking or anything.
And when you hear those stories, you're like, no, that's bullshit. But you actively know someone who did. And that's exciting to me.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
So sorry, but thank you.
Okay. So my number 8, Terrifier 3. Loved it though. Loved it. Okay.
All right.
But there's just other movies that are like, I mean,
it's just this whole list it was
hard. It was
so hard because there's so much good shit this year.
Yeah, because I kept thinking maybe I should text Craig. Can we do top 15?
Right? I could have easily done a top 20 and no problem.
So, but it's like top 10. Yeah, no, we do top 10. That's what we do. That's what we do. Top 10.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, number 8 coming in for me, and although I love this movie, and I'm gonna assume it's much higher on your list, but we don't know for sure. Oddity is my number 8.
Good movie.
Oddity,
Good
Oddity was fresh,
It was
unique.
It's a slow
And
burn.
It's a slow burn, and it's genuinely scary.
It is creepy.
It is creepy.
Oh my gosh.
It is definitely a film that, if you want to be scared, you definitely should watch this movie at night alone. If you want to get that, if you want to get that rush and actually get creeped out by a movie, Oddity will do that for you. But the tent scene is wonderful, beautiful setup and execution. And for such a unique story.
Right. And what makes this film so good is, I mean, the cinematography is great. The story is good. It's compelling. It's engaging. It draws you in. But the sound design.
Yes.
Oh, my God. The sound design. Jeez.
There's a couple movies.
Yes, there are.
that deal with sound design. But yes, the sound design for Oddity was an extreme standout as well. But overall, just an excellent film. Wonderful. A lot of actors that you're not used to seeing.
Right.
Unknowns that, that did an amazing job. But that kind of always elevates it when it's not necessarily a face you recognize.
Elevated horror.
So, yeah. I hate that term. Damn it.
So do I.
I used it, though, didn't I? Oh, well. All right. All right. That leads us to number 7.
Number seven. I honestly didn't think this movie would be on my list until I watched it.
Oh, okay.
And that would be The First Omen.
Oh, another one I'm watching. It was so good.
Oh, it was
so good.
And the body horror that was in it,
yes,
was just enough not to throw it over the top like another movie that is not on my list. I'm sorry, but this movie, from I started watching it, I got like the first 5-10 minutes into it, and it was late at night, and I shut it off because I was tired. And so the next day I watched it earlier and rewound it and watched, the opening again and everything. And I was drawn in.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie is so Luciferian.
Oh,
I mean,
it's for sure. It's
horrible.
A huge surprise. First of all,
it came out of nowhere.
Why did this movie exist? It didn't need to. What a strange prequel choice to make, and a franchise nobody was wanting another entry into.
Right.
And then for it to come out and be that good.
Oh, it was amazing.
For me, it and Immaculate were kind of went head to head this year for that same level of type of horror film. And for me, Omen definitely beat it out. In my opinion,
beat it out, not beat it off in the theater.
No.
Okay. So that's my number 7.
Excellent choice.
The First Omen.
The First Omen.
Yeah,
such a good movie. All right, my number 7. I don't know if you watched this movie this year. I don't know.
Okay.
But number 7 on my list is a Korean ghost movie, actually, called Exuma.
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, God, you have to. It's fantastic. I have a soft spot for any Eastern horror is unique and always done so well. They do characters so well, and that's something that really stood out to me for Exuma. Wonderful characters, that always makes it 10 times a better story. Engaging, and this movie really took you on an adventure, and it's definitely that American audience is something that folklore that we're probably not used to hearing. So definitely fresh and new for us. Executed very well and creepy in spots as well, and beautifully shot.
Okay.
Extremely well acted. I loved it.
And I've seen it streaming and like, this seems interesting.
Yeah. Highly recommend, because I am not big on ghost. It's kind of ghost / possession type of story. And I'm really picky with those, but man, Exuma just hit it out of the park for me. So.
All right, cool. Yeah. That is, I'll have to put that on my list. Oh, okay, yes, number 6. Okay, I love this movie, and from 6 to 1 was so hard for me. and but there's other movies that I just love more than this film, but I love this film. So I mean, Strange Darling.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes, Strange
Yeah.
Darling.
It honestly, for me, I think would have been higher on the list if it was more horror.
Okay.
It's more of an action thriller, revenge kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, which there's nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing wrong with the movie at all. Go watch it. It's amazing. So, but yeah, Strange Darling, my number 6.
Excellent choice.
Yeah.
Moving right along, number 6 for me. I think this is going to be higher, literally on everyone's list. But let's see, 5-1 was easy for me. That was the easy part of the list for me.
Wow.
And this one almost made that cut, but didn't quite do it. Still an amazing movie. The Substance blew everyone away this year. I loved it. I don't think I've talked to too many people that didn't love it. Even Randy still liked it, but ending was a bit much for him.
Yeah,
but I absolutely loved The Substance. I thought it was fantastic. I loved all the body horror elements. I loved the story it was telling. I just loved everything it stood for. I'm a sucker for the special effects and the gore, even if at the end we teetered on the edge of going a bit too long for me in that final scene. But still, I enjoyed some other ones a little bit more than that. But The Substance hit number 6 on my list.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Wow. Okay. I mean, yeah, I can see it. I mean, the boobies in that movie. Okay. All right. Number 6. Wow. Substance. Okay. I like it. Number 5 for me, I think, is going to be a total shock for you.
Oh.
You're going to be like, what the fuck?
Oh.
Maxine.
Oh, really?
I
Okay.
fucking loved Maxine.
All right. Okay.
Kevin Bacon. Give me some Kevin Bacon.
Oh, God. Kevin Bacon's so great.
And did you notice he was dressed like Jack Nicholson from Chinatown?
Oh,
in that movie.
Okay.
And then he gets his nose broken. So I'm like, holy fuck, that's fucking awesome. Because yeah. It's a throwback to the 80s in a good way. In a very good way. It's such a,
I loved Maxine up until the whole, we find out it's her dad and there's a cult going on at her house for whatever reason. And it wasn't done poorly, and it comes down to personal choices. But the movie just lost me at that point. And I was so on board up until then. But again, it's just personal choice at that point, 100%.
And I kind of thought the same thing myself, but it redeemed itself when they were at the Hollywood sign.
Okay, yeah.
It's like, oh shit, we're taking a horror movie to the Hollywood sign.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, anytime anybody does that, I'm on board.
There were some, there were a couple really excellent kills.
There was.
In the car scene with Kevin Bacon, that was fantastic.
What about the opening scene in the alley?
Oh yeah, fantastic! But the one that was really intense for me was when her friend at the movie store got killed. That one was really intense.
Yeah,
but Maxine was fantastic.
Yeah,
I think of the trilogy of those of Ty West films with Maya Goth, I think Pearl is still my personal favorite of the three.
Pearl was it's my lowest on, because I like X so much. So it's I mean, obviously Maxine, X, and then Pearl. That's the order that I would go with those.
I would have to go Pearl, Maxine, X. But also,
or if you watch them in order,
oh yeah,
linear.
Yeah,
it'd be,
linearly.
Yeah, Pearl, X, and Maxine are the order that you should watch them in.
Yeah,
and that's to me, that's probably the best order to watch them.
I think so. But I mean, all three films are great.
Oh yeah, nothing wrong with. I did like the scene where she was like humping the scarecrow.
Oh, the scarecrow! Yeah, that was fantastic.
That was
fantastic.
Okay, yeah.
Wow, was that your number 5 already?
That was
holy hell! We are flying right on through. We're so excited to talk about all these movies that we're just flying through it. Number 5 for me, Smile 2.
Smile too.
Man, I
Nice.
loved Smile too. Gosh.
It's so good.
And I didn't expect it to enjoy it as much as I did. I thought I knew I was going to enjoy it if it had anything to do with the first one, because I enjoyed Smile a lot. But man, and we've talked about it almost on every single episode this year. The female performances this year,
Oh God,
were insane.
yes, they
but
were.
Smile
They were.
2 is really up there for me with those. She was just stunning in that role. The movie held on to me the whole way through, didn't let go. I was sucked in. And I think I was just surprised even though I shouldn't be this year, I was surprised at enjoying a wide release horror film that much.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
The
Usually
only downfall to Smile 2 is there's no Kevin Kippy in the movie.
Oh, there is no Kevin. Yeah, sorry.
Kevin Kippy, friend of the show, and
We do love Kevin.
And,
but yeah,
but yeah.
Smile 2. I loved everything about it.
that's number 4, right?
Yeah,
Number
number
four.
four.
Oh, okay.
Number 4.
Okay.
Randy's number 4.
Number 4. My number 4 is Oddity,
I
which
knew it was gonna
you're
be higher on your
probably
list.
shocked that it's as low as number 4.
I thought it was going to be top 3 at least.
We already talked about this movie. I loved it. I loved it to death. I think it was great. The mood, the atmosphere, everything, cinematography. But man, that sound design in this movie is incredible. All right.
Fantastic.
So yeah,
Okay, Craig's number 4, and we already talked about this, but it's much higher on the list for me because I am a sucker for slashers. Terrifier 3, if
yeah. I get it. I get it.
Everything about it is just overboard, over gory, hyper everything. But man, it sometimes turning that notch to 11 is not a good thing. But in Terrifier 3,
they turned it up to
15.
15.
Oh,
they turned
man.
it up to 15.
And
it's not gory. It's not gory. We already went through this.
I think we mentioned it in our review. But walking out of the theater, I'm walking with Randy, and I'm rubbing my chin. I'm like, man, why does my mouth hurt? And it took me a second. It was because I just sat there for 2 hours smiling.
With a big grin.
With a big grin on my face for 2 hours because I'm a degenerate. And I loved every horrible thing happening on screen.
Yes, it was...
Art is a new cult classic slasher. And to see his birth... And then for the sequels to just ramp up and get better and better.
Right.
And not only that, one of the most important things, I think, for me is what Terrifier 3 did for horror in general. And I don't even know if Damien Leone knows what he's done. I'm sure they do at this point, but that film did so much for the genre in the industry. It's going to have ramifications in a good way.
Did it break over 100 million?
Oh, yeah. It's going
overseas?
to change things for horror for years to come. For the rest of time, it just really had a massive impact. And I'm not sure there's another movie that had that impact on the genre that we're going to see.
Right.
That actually is doing more than, giving the audiences a really good film that's going to be maybe one of the best ever. But what it did for the genre also on top of that was just insane. So,
but the problem Leone has is he set the bar.
He did.
With Terrifier, he set it. With Terrifier 2, he set it again.
Yep.
And now Terrifier 3, I don't know how he could outdo that.
I don't know. You know what? So, but I'm excited to see what he does. I think we're getting one more Terrifier film, and then God, I can't wait to see what else happens, and I can't wait to see. Yeah. What else David Howard Thornton does, or Lauren Laverne, or the lead female in Terrifier 3. Also another extremely strong female performance.
Yes,
fantastic.
Yes.
Gosh, so great. Yeah. So anyway. Randy's number 3.
My number 3 is Smile 2. Yep. All right. Minus
so good.
Kevin Kippy. Sorry, Kevin.
Still a great film.
Still a great film.
So good. That ending, man.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure they were going to fully go for it. When they did, I was like, yes.
My God.
I love that we got the entity again.
Yeah. If you haven't seen If you haven't seen Smile 2,
If you haven't seen any of these
Yeah,
movies,
yeah.
I mean,
Just-
go watch
go
them
watch it.
immediately.
Shut us up right now. Like, why are you watching us right now?
Yeah, we're a little bit late. That we might have
Yeah.
dropped some spoilers, but
Anyway, all right.
holy shit, number three.
Number three.
My number three, much higher on my list than it was yours, but I absolutely adored this film. Strange Darling comes in at number 3 for me. Gosh,
I figured it would be up there.
You know what?
I figured it'd be in the number one spot, honestly, because I know how much you love this.
I did. I love it so much. My top three, they're movies that I'm going to love for the rest of my life.
Oh yeah.
This year was so insane for all the films released, and to have this many movies that are going to be contenders for some of the greatest movies ever. It's just insane to me. But Strange Darling just did everything so perfect for me. I just knew immediately something about it. I was just on board. And,
right. I mean, the cinematography again.
Oh, yes.
Great looking film. The non-linear format in which it's told is perfect.
Amazing.
It's perfect.
Actors and actresses just knocking it out of the park.
Yeah.
Oh God, so good. Everything of it. I can't. I'll sit here and talk all day about Strange Darling. So we're gonna move on and let you do your number two.
All right. My number two. It went from number 4 to number 3 to number 5 and number 2 and back again and finally when I came up with the list, I'm like, yeah, there's only one place it can go, and that's number 2, Longlegs. Yeah. Yep. This movie is just from start to finish. It's so good.
God,
it's
so good.
And you get sucked into. I mean, Oz Perkins, one hell of a director, and I kind of want to see Monkey.
Fantastic. Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
I'm not sure I'm on board with the trailer or the short sequence I've seen, but the fact that Oz Perkins gave us Longlegs, I will go see it regardless. Because
we didn't know anything about Longlegs going into it. Nothing, because the trailers showed you nothing.
Yeah,
you didn't even see Nicolas Cage, and even if you had, you
wouldn't have known
it was him. Therefore, I loved it enough for it to be my number 2. Arribatus.
My number 2 is also Longlegs. Man, for the longest time, I knew it was good. I had a feeling our number 1 and number 2 were going to be the same. I really did. Longlegs was in the number 1 spot for most of the year because, God, it was just so perfect.
I was thinking. I mean, I'm shocked it's number 2 because I was thinking it was going to be number 1.
They fought,
and I was getting ready to slap you.
They duked it out because, and honestly, it was the second viewing of what's in my number 1 spot that really solidified it. Because, we'll talk about that in just a moment. Because I'm sure we both have it there. There's no way it's not the same film. But yes, Longlegs was my favorite film of the year. All the performances, Maker Monroe, Nicolas Cage, everybody involved.
And the story is just
unique.
It's unique. It sucks you in. It draws you in. It makes you want to see what happens next.
Yes.
As Perkins, I can't wait to see what he does next. And Monkey, I'm not totally on board with, but like you said, it's Oz Perkins. I want to see it.
Gotta see it.
So I think, since we're at my number 1, we should just. I'm pretty sure they're the same movie.
I guarantee it. Our number 1,
so
Nosferatu. Yep. Of course.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, what can we say about this movie that we haven't said already?
First of all, it was really hard not to put the Crow remake in the number 1 spot. But,
well, I'm glad you watched that, so I didn't have to.
Okay, Bill Skarsgård in the best movie and worst movie of 2024.
Yeah, best movie being number 1, worst movie not even on the fucking list.
Oh God, where do you start?
Well, here's where we start. Okay, so Bill gave me a call, and because I'm like, hey, Bill, can you call me? and I told him, Nosferatu is going to be number one. So,
Mhm.
A fight between Orlok and Pennywise, and he's like, yeah, well, Pennywise would need that fear, but Orlok wouldn't give a fuck. So
No.
I think Orlok would win. I'm
Yeah.
like, I have to agree with you, buddy.
Absolutely, yeah. Pennywise thrives on fear, and Orlok is scared of absolutely nothing. Absolutely 100%, not a single thing in the world.
He doesn't even care if you see his dick.
Nope.
He doesn't care at all. Oh, yeah. But, I mean,
God.
I can't wait for this to come out on home video, VOD, whatever, so we can have an extended cut of Nosferatu, which, when it does come out, we will get with Jocelyn and we'll do a review of that.
Absolutely, 100%.
So,
it's almost not fair. And give me a minute to explain this, because, and I think my father, props to Papa Gates, put it the best way, and it's nothing against any of the other filmmakers this year,
right?
Because there's a lot of these films, especially my top, last couple we talked about, Longlegs, Strange Darling, Terrifier 3. These guys are creating films that will go down in history, in my opinion, as some of the greatest films in their respective subgenre of horror.
But some of them will slip through the cracks and be like,
"Oh, sure,
oh, what was that movie?"
Sure, but it's almost not fair, because Eggers is out here.
He's doing his own
creating
thing.
And painting a wondrous oil painting.
Oh yeah.
While everybody else seems to have crayons. Like, it's just it's that insane.
Yeah.
And I don't I don't mean any disrespect to the other directors and filmmakers, because
no, not at all.
Stunning work on all accounts.
Yeah.
But Nosferatu was such an epic creation, cinematic experience, that there's nothing that could top it.
Right.
This year.
Right.
I don't know where it stacks up in the grand scheme of time. Holy shit.
It's getting a lot of love, yes, but it's getting a lot of hate also.
It does. A lot of stupid hate, if I'm to be honest.
Yeah. And reasons why I love it is we finally have a vampire. Okay? We finally have a vampire. Mm-hmm. This is a vampire movie. This is about a vampire. This is what a vampire is. There's none of the bullshit that everybody fucking is hating on the movie for. None of that fucking pretty ass fucking vampire, fucking Twilight, twinkly fucking motherfucking. God damn. But yeah, this is it's a horror vampire movie.
Yes. Vampires are finally scary again.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of hate, as you mentioned, for the design. And I just don't understand it. I honestly don't, because it is paying respects to historic accuracy.
Yes.
It is paying respects to the original text of Bram Stoker's Dracula obviously Nosferatu was born from.
Yep.
But it's so astounding to me that Eggers was able to create this film, and we're on the fourth iteration of this film.
Right.
Haven't seen the other one, because there's like
the Doug Jones.
The Doug Jones.
Yeah.
It's like shot for shot with green screen. Anyway.
Yeah.
Fourth iteration of this film, and Eggers managed to create something so epic and drastic and different. But it's already a story that not only has been remade multiple times on film, the story in itself is a retelling of an already existing story. You talked about Damien Leone topping himself. I don't know if Eggers gets better. That's the only thing I'm scared about. But even if he doesn't, but for me, Nosferatu is his absolute crowning achievement. There is no aspect of the film that is better than the other aspect. We talked about sound design earlier, and sound design in this is astronomical. Astounding. Tone, script, visual effects, like everything is just
right.
It's insane.
Yeah. And the thing about Eggers is it's his sensibilities.
Mhm.
I mean, he wants everything in his films to be accurate or as close to accurate as possible. I've heard people critique him and cut him down for, oh, well, this isn't accurate. This isn't accurate. Shut the fuck up. Okay. Asshole. So, but just, you can get lost in his worlds.
Absolutely.
And Nosferatu, one of the things I loved about it was there's a little sprocket jiggle, wiggle, I guess, to the opening credit.
Mm-hmm.
Nosferatu is a little bit like, oh, we're shooting on film here, and yes, the movie was shot on 35 millimeter, and it shows, and I love that. But one of the things that I noticed while watching it, it's like, we're watching this scene or that scene, and I'm like, there hasn't been a cut in like 2 minutes. Long takes,
Mm-hmm.
and masterful.
Yeah.
I mean, just everything is on point.
Yeah, it is. It's not a short film, and it's not a quick ride either. You get lost in it. But coming from seeing it a second time, and I don't know how to say. I don't know how to say I felt its length without sounding negative.
Right.
But I felt it more in the second viewing. But I was also spending what little extra time I felt like I had, paying attention to other aspects of the film and enjoying them at the same time. I knew the story. I knew the beats. So here I am investigating, the film a second time around, having the time. It's like being let into a playground and finding everything. And it was astounding, catching everything, seeing things I didn't see for the first time. It's just so...
Yeah, there's so much there.
I'm just literally lost for words. There's so much to it. There's so much to look at. There's so much done. There's so much he put into it. Just a little list of things, and that Eggers is a once in a lifetime type of filmmaker, I think.
Oh yeah, and just and oddity sound design is great. Yes,
oh, yeah.
yes, and it's my top 10 list for sound design in movies. This is still at number 1. Oddity is at number 2, but just the scene where Hutter gets to the castle and that door opens, and there's a flood. I mean, just a flood of sound, and this wall of sound comes, just hits you, and and I thought it was a bold choice to open the film the way he did.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's like, oh, we're getting right into it.
Yep.
And then you're like, oh, okay, because I thought that was like, oh, this is what's happening now, but we're going to take you back and show you what led up to it. I thought that's what, and it wasn't that. So, but it's a masterful film. It's
absolutely 100%.
They should teach this in film school.
They really should.
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, there's just so much to study about how great a film this is. It's not only for myself, but I firmly believe it's going to go down in history of one of the greatest in the modern area. What a fucking
era.
In the modern era, it's going to be a modern classic.
Yeah, it is, and
as it should be.
In a world of clones and knockoffs and everything, Robert Eggers chose to do a very popular IP, and he changed it.
Yep, bold choice. I mean, it's in his fourth film. This is his first remake.
Yeah.
His other 3 films were all original stories.
Yeah.
Although they pulled aspects from historic, because Eggers loves researching. He loves bringing folklore to his films, which it definitely shows. But he loves those type of films, and if you can look up interviews or read them. He's a major film buff for really classic films.
Oh yeah.
And that really shows.
It does, 100%. And I love that because that goes back to sensibilities. I think we share a lot of the same sensibilities. And, I'm not always about the blood and guts and the gore. I'm going to tell a good story first.
Oh, absolutely.
And then the gore is like, well, if you're doing a werewolf film, the gore is like the the toppings. You know?
Yeah,
It's like
absolutely.
the frosting on top of the cake.
Yeah.
After you already had frosting down.
Yep.
You put more.
I don't.
said more.
I visually, I can't think off the top of my head. I know there's many, but visually, not very often does a film come along where I'm left playing just not only sequences, but just a shot over and over and over and over again in my head out of sheer beauty. As dark as the film is, but the shot of the carriage coming in with the castle and the moon.
God, yeah.
When he gets on the carriage, that
Mhm.
shot out in the snow
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
crossroads. There's so that God, I could go on. There's so many of them
Yeah.
in this film. A film should not have that many sequences
Yeah.
or just one shots to
Okay.
do that to you. And then the ending and what happens there, and I know you know what I'm talking about, is one of the most grotesque and beautiful things
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah.
It is absolutely jaw-dropping. Like, my mouth was open
Yeah.
both times.
Yeah.
Just
I can
in
believe it. I
absolute
can believe
awe
it. Yeah.
of how striking that was.
Yeah. Yeah. And somebody leaked that online, that ending.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. I watched it again today and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's.
Well, now I want to go find it and watch it because I just want to watch it over and over and over and over
Yeah,
and over
it's,
and over and over again.
You know, like what I was saying, you know, I would continue my thought from earlier. In a world full of remakes, Eggers was unique.
Yeah.
Very unique.
He was.
And I love him for that. I love this film. And I mean, he hit it out of the park. I mean, he hit it out of the atmosphere. I mean, he hit it out of this.
While
our
taking
galaxy.
beats from the original films. I
Mhm.
mean, because both, even the 79 remake, there's more added to it, but they're both still somewhat simple films, especially the original 1922.
Yeah.
Eggers is able to incorporate that, but then almost create something new on its own.
Right. I kind of put this in the same breath as Tom Savini's remake of Night of the Living Dead.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's the same, but it's the same, but it's different.
Our 5 viewers that we have are throwing tomatoes at the screen right
Yes,
now
they are.
for
Yes, they
that.
are. So,
But we will defend Savini's remake
We
till
will.
the end of time.
we will. Yes.
But goddamn, Nosferatu,
It's
Number one.
It's the superior film of the year.
it is
It really is.
on all accounts. There's
yeah,
just
and-
nothing that can top it.
And to all the haters, I mean, what's your IQ? I love the haters.
I will be.
do.
I do too. I will be as bold to say is it. If you have issue with Nosferatu, I don't think you're a fan of film on a grand scale.
Right.
You can like and dislike whatever
Yeah.
you want to, but if you find yourself disliking Nosferatu, you are not a scholar of film. You
Yeah.
it is just, you know what? Go watch the Transformers franchise and
There
enjoy
you go. There you go. Enjoy that shit.
that. Have fun. It's okay to like that shit.
It's
It's fine.
schlock. It's schlock.
Yeah.
And
And there's plenty of horror in the
I
horror genre for that too.
honestly, I saw this online. Somebody went to see Nosferatu.
Mm-hmm.
And being a fan of the book, they're like, okay, I like this. There wasn't enough time on the Demeter in this film, so they hadn't seen Last Voyage of the Demeter yet. So they're like, well, shit, I'm gonna get my Demeter fill. I'm gonna watch Last Voyage of the Demeter. He loved that movie more than Nosferatu, and we're gonna leave on that.
I don't have words for enjoying. If you enjoy the
Last Voyage of the Demeter, there's-
more than
there's-
Nosferatu,
there's-
that just
then you don't understand what Dracula is. And there's a lot of people that are
and
like
complaining
well,
about not time on the Demeter. And I mean, it's
Yeah.
fine to create more, but the Demeter was an extremely small part of
Yes.
the story,
Yes.
in
And
both Dracula and in Nosferatu.
And okay, Demeter, they had bookends. You know, going into the film, I didn't have a problem with it. Coming out of I'm like, you fucked it up. You totally fucked it up, and I would have been able to let that film slide if they had gotten the end of it right.
I hate The Last Voyage of Demeter.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I love Nosferatu.
It's not a Dracula film.
And I loved everything else I saw this year. I do want to mention a couple things that almost made it on my list. I know a couple have made it on your list. The Last Omen almost made it on my list and definitely deserved.
First Omen.
I'm sorry, the First Omen. The Last Omen.
That'll be the
The First Omen should have been on my list, and so Late Night with the Devil also. Honestly, interchangeably, those two could probably replace Romulus and In a Violent Nature. I just loved aspects of them so much, but the endings were garbage. Right. But so realistically, those should probably go in place of those. But nonetheless, I also enjoyed Out Come the Wolves. I don't think a lot of people saw that. It's kind of a nature survival film, and I really, really enjoyed that. That was a nice return to
nature.
Yeah.
Hey, let's do a top 10 list of killer animal films.
Okay. Oh,
not right now, though.
Oh, yeah, not right now. We'll get back to that. Yeah, there was, I think, I watched collectively, it ended up being like 56. It was between 55 and 60 horror films I watched this year.
Oh wow.
And there was a couple that I did not get around to that a lot of other people enjoyed. There was one called Red Rooms that apparently was well beloved, so I want to check that out.
Yeah.
And there was another one called The Coffee Table that I did not get around to either.
I haven't seen that yet.
So apologies to those two films. They may have deserved to be on the list. I don't know. I just didn't get around to them because I watched almost 60 damn movies in the horror genre this year.
We can always update our lists.
Holy cow. Yeah. Anyway, but we're excited for 2025. There's a lot coming out this year as well. Yeah. I don't know if 2024 can be topped for horror films. It's going to go down in history. Yeah. It really is. But we hope to bring you more exciting content. I do know we're going to have a little bit of time off. The wife is having surgery. We got to watch and recover for that. So we're going to take some time off that. Also, there's some projects that we and Randy mainly are working on. Behind the scenes, if you will, that will be taking up some time as well. So, but we will continue to bring you reviews, top lists. You know what? We're gonna do that animal one.
Okay.
Top 10 animal attack, nature run amok, what have you?
Yeah.
We're gonna do that. That sounds exciting.
Well, okay, so, just animals like.
Yeah,
like just an animal.
Just an animal. Okay,
would zombievers be good?
I mean, so here's how I look at it.
What about prophecy?
You can have prophecy. I'll allow it. There's Randy's number one.
That means
no, it's not
annihilation.
Number two. No. Because here's the deal. Okay, the whole film. Let's do this. The whole film has to be about the animal or animals.
Cocaine bear.
That would count. Cocaine bear counts. Because the whole movie is based on the cocaine bear.
Okay.
And the animals have to start out somewhat normal to begin with.
Food of the gods.
Yeah. So, all that would work. We're not going to include, like, Godzilla, King Kong. That's kaiju territory. They get their own list. Dinosaurs, they get their own list, too. We're going to leave out dinosaurs.
Jurassic Park.
Because I don't want to put shit up against Jurassic Park because it's classic. I love Jurassic Park. But technically, I mean, those aren't according to science.
I know
dinosaurs are fucking lame now.
Yeah,
I want to go back to when I believe there were velociraptors and Dilophosauruses.
And T-Rex didn't have feathers.
Yeah, when dinosaurs didn't have feathers because that's lame.
Yeah,
they walked around with scales, eating and pooping.
That's right.
With Jeff Goldblum.
Well, now they think T-Rex had wings. Now
that's a fucking dragon.
That's what that is. Dragon.
Okay?
That's what it is.
That's a goddamn dragon.
I'm all down with that shit. If he was breathing fire and shit, fuck yeah, that's the scariest T-Rex ever.
That is terrifying.
Yeah,
terrifying.
I want to make that movie.
Let's do it. Yeah, Annihilation. We're gonna say it right now. Best bear ever on screen, but that doesn't count for Nature Run Amok because it's not the whole. It's not the whole thing.
Yeah. And
anyway,
and it's nothing like the bear from Prophecy.
No.
Which Prophecy needs a remake.
Yes. please,
Yeah.
or
I mean,
give him money.
Yeah, give me money. I mean,
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming. We
Yep.
hope you enjoyed our top 10 of the
why
year.
were they coming in the theater? Because they were getting cut up.
Well, it's definitely not because they're watching this mug. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yes, like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe.
John Holmes, that like button.
Yeah, don't gently, just really just
drill that mother.
Anyway,
Anyway,
Happy New Year.
Happy
We'll
New
see you
Year.
soon.
See you soon. Bye.